Coach, how are you, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
I'm good. Really good SMU team coming in here. I think as good as a team as we've faced all season long. Honestly, I think they're a top 25 caliber team. You look at their schedule. I have so much respect for Rob Lanier, their coaching staff, and their players. They're sitting here at 10-5 with 3 one-possession losses, so could very well be 13-2 and have won games. First Florida State, West Virginia. Just a really good team. The Memphis game, the first conference game, had an opportunity to go into Memphis and win that game, and obviously lost on the last second shot. So just a very, very good ball club.
I know wins count all the same. They're all one win, but when you see a team that prides themselves on defense a lot like your team, as a coach, do you get a little extra giddiness to measure yourself against a team that mirrors yours so much?
I get a little bit more nervous about our offense. We play a team that is that good on defense. No, they're a great defensive team. 36% field goal percentage defense, holding teams. They're a top defensive team in the country, what they're doing in terms of points allowed, field goal percentage, the way they guard the three-point line. Obviously we just had practice, and we really just got a one-day prep, a true one-day prep versus them. But we know, again, this is as good as a team as we've seen all season, and particularly on defense.
Last game, it seemed that you guys let up 10 offensive rebounds, but it seemed every offensive rebound you let up, it wasn't a quick shot attempt. Your defense got to set up and force them to rerun their half-court offense. SMU offensive rebounds very well. Is there anything you can take from that game, or is it a total different situation because they don't get a lot of their offensive rebounds on the three ball?
Great point. Exactly. Totally different situation. Temple was the highest volume three-point shooting team in the conference, number 13 in the country. We knew going into that game, long shots, long rebounds. So a lot of those rebounds were around the elbow, were at the three-point line. They were loose balls going away from the rim. We're about to play a team that's the 13th best offensive rebounding team in the country, and they do it with big forwards, big guards, post players, and they rebound around the basket, and they put it back in. So we understand what a challenge that is, but it is 2 totally different types of offensive rebounds. But in the end of the day, regardless of the defense that's played, you have to secure the defensive rebound, and it's going to be a real challenge for us, Saturday afternoon because of how good SMU hits the offensive boards.
Coach, you got shot real well the other night, it ended up being a win. Do you feel like that's something that can kind of carry from game to game, or is it just a every night see what kind of happens thing?
If I knew the answer to that question and I could predict that we would shoot the ball again Saturday, I promise you we'd do it. You hope so. In the end of the day, the name of the game is the ball going through the basket. And when you shoot the ball well, like we did the other night, it was great, obviously. Cam Hayes makes threes, Brennan makes threes, Bobby makes threes. I'm probably forgetting, somebody in there. RJ makes threes. We put the ball in the basket, and we shot at a high percentage. We shot over 50%, and we haven't had many games where we've shot it like that. So we work on it every day. The guys put time in the gym on their own. We work on it in practice, and it paid off the other night. Unfortunately, it's no guarantee what's going to happen tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, sure. I hope we shoot the ball well again.
Phelps decided to come back, and then Chuck Harris got added to that roster, and that's a pretty good backcourt. So what kind of challenges do they face with your backcourt? Yeah,
I think it is as good of a backcourt as there is in this league. You talk about Zurich Phelps, and we know, he can go score it on all 3 levels, and he's a dynamic driver. He plays. He's got incredible speed in transition. He can just score the basketball as good as anybody. He gets downhill. And then Chuck Harris is shooting the ball really well. He can get downhill. He's can play with the ball in his hands, can play off the ball. And they got B.J. Edwards from Tennessee who holds it all together for them. He's averaging 4 assists a game, and he does a good job. And then they got forwards and bigs. You got Sam Williamson that caused us a lot of problems last year. He's a talented former McDonald's All-American that can really score the basketball at the 4 spot. So it isn't just Zurich and Chuck Harris. Those 2 guys are dynamic guards, but they're a complete ball club.
How much has Cam Hayes kind of shook the rust off and starting to look like Cam Hayes?
I think you can definitely tell that now, whether it's 5 or 6 games, whatever he's in. I think you've seen the last 2 games. He's much more comfortable playing. I've always said this. I give Cam so much credit because from his very first game defensively on the ball versus Florida, he really impacted our team. And slowly but surely, you can see him getting more and more comfortable on the offensive end, playing with the ball in his hands, shooting the basketball. Hits 3 huge threes for us the other night. He hit a big 3 versus Tulsa. You know, so that's a big thing for us. He got the ball, he drove the basketball versus Tulsa. So we know Cam, and I've said it in every press conference I've had, Cam can score the basketball, he can shoot the basketball. We have the ultimate confidence in him. We see him do it every day. It's just a matter of he was playing November and we're in January, but I think he's catching up, no doubt about it.
We know there's a difference in being in shape and being in basketball shape. Callum's obviously been cleared for 5 or 6 days now. How is his conditioning?
Yeah, you know, actually, I'm really proud of Cal because, you know, to be off that long. I mean, he was off for 2+ weeks prior to the break. He hadn't done anything. And he came back, and I thought in his first practice he was cleared. We pushed him. He played in the game versus Temple. I thought he gave us good minutes. I thought he was good in practice today. He's definitely, obviously, as you said, he's not back to where he's going to be. But I'm really proud of Cal and excited to have him back, and, you know, he's going to help us.
Thanks, Coach.